Well, you don't resurface dual mass flywheels. You just don't do it.
Yeah, if you bring it over
But
there and leave it.
we might be kind of doing that. So here's the flywheel out of my PT Cruiser GT Turbo. And as you can see, it's got hot spotting all over the place. These flywheels are essentially unobtainium. You cannot buy them anywhere. So I don't really have a really good option as far as getting a new one, and I don't really want to spend the $1,500 on a new standard flywheel and clutch for this car. So what we're going to try to do is get a little creative. We chucked it up in our lathe here, and I think we're going to try to do a little bit of scuffy cleany stuff here on the flywheel surface to see if we can get it as good as possible, and then put it back in the car with my brand new clutch and see what we've got. The idea here is I don't want to spend a ton of money on a vehicle that I don't have much money in order to prove that the engine and transmission are in good shape. Because if they are in good shape, we're just going to end up taking it out of that car anyway. I'm not planning on driving it as a PT Cruiser. I just want the drivetrain to be healthy, and that's what we need to do. So I don't want to really spend a whole bunch of extra money just to prove that. This should probably get us to where we need to be. It's not the ideal way to do this, and certainly not something we would do professionally for a customer, but it should do what we need it to do. So, time to get a little creative, see what we can do. Well, it's changing, whether it's better or worse.
I don't think you're gonna really. You can try to grind it till it looks nice, but.
What do you think? I would call it better.
At least you can't see the hot spots now, huh?
At least it's visually better. I think that's probably good enough for government work.
Yeah, I don't think because it's probably a little higher out here where it's not been used.
It's probably worth a try.
Disc anyway, so.
Any idea what grit that is?
I think this is like an 80 grit. That other one that was real heavy was 36. I don't have enough. If you hit it with that 36, to get the 36 out, you need like whatever's in between.
Yeah.
This real fine and that real heavy.
Right.
But that's real heavy when you cut that shit right off there, but it didn't leave some heavy scars in it.
What do you think? Good enough? I think it's worth it. We're gonna give it a try. Again, this is not the professional way to do this. This is not something that we would do for a customer. This is purely, I'm trying to verify the integrity of the drivetrain that I'm planning on stealing out of this car to be able to put in something else. We have a 1986 GLHS Charger that is sitting at home in the shop, and this 2.4 turbo drivetrain that's in this PT Cruiser is basically just a donor vehicle. I just want to verify that the drivetrain that I'm going to steal out of it is in proper working condition. Before I pull the whole car apart to be able to steal that drivetrain out of it. What I don't want to do is just go through this entire nightmare and end up putting everything back together again and then realize that what I just did all that work to do isn't good. That's not what I want to do. I'm dumb enough as it is. I don't want to do that. So this will give us at least a place to start from. And then we'll put it back together again, and we'll hope for the best. clutch kit did come with the new clutch slave. So this is all new. Interestingly, these are Getrag transmissions, which is actually kind of a much stronger version than the one that went in the SRT4 Neons, which is why I went after a PT Cruiser. Also, because people who own PT Cruisers usually are a little bit less of a hooligan than people who own SRT4 Dodge Neon. So, better transmission, less likelihood of it being hooniganed, and hopefully, possibly, gonna survive. It's actually like 140-something thousand mile car too, so I guess you would call that low mileage for a 20-some-odd-year-old PT Cruiser. So, I need to wrap up what we're doing on this rack, then we'll get the PT Cruiser back in here, and we'll get the clutch put in, and get this thing put back together again, and then we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. I am going to probably drive this thing for a couple of 100 miles just to verify what's going on. I have never felt how this car drives. When we first bought the car off of Facebook Marketplace, which was a dickens of a time actually getting to buy the car, but the clutch was smoked so bad that you could get it to move, but it was really not happy. And I was hoping that maybe the clutch had failed and we hadn't burned anything up, but clearly that's not really the case. But I want to be able to put this thing under boost and see how it pulls and see how it responds. Make sure that the synchros and the transmission are in good shape and everything's there. Also, if I'm honest, I don't know how much boost this thing is running. It does have a boost gauge on it, and the story that I was told from the gentleman that I bought it from was it was running basically all the boost, and whether or not this thing has enough injector to be able to handle the gigantic extra boost it's running, I don't know. Whether or not the ECU is smart enough to be able to protect itself from that, I don't know. So I do need to verify that that's good, and I probably want to go ahead and pull an oil sample out of this thing to make sure, or cut open the oil filter. That's probably what I need to do to verify that there's nothing bad inside there as far as bearings or something goes with that. Now, with that said, even if the bearings are on their way out, I'm not all that upset about it, because when I pull the drivetrain apart, I can put new bearings in it, and it's not that big of a deal. So, well, unfortunately, let's pause this story for a future date. We've been busy in the shop. PT Cruiser goes outside, no time to put it back together again. It is holiday weekend, or holiday week here, so Thanksgiving is here. We're on a short week, and we've been busy enough that we can't get back to it, but I think we're in a good shape. I've got my clutch that's already with the car, so we'll be able to put that back together again here soon. Just got to find the time to put it back together again. So that'll be another day. At least we got the flywheel machine, so that's an update. Welcome to vlog style stuff here at Automotive Adventures with Austin. It's not real heavily produced. It's not real scheduled. It's just a matter of real life world stuff, like what I can get done, when I can get it done, and how I get it done. And sometimes that means projects sit and don't get worked on, which is why you need to own more than one project. That way you can work on this and then work on that and then work on this. So that's what I tell myself. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We'll see you later. What do you think about refinishing a dual mass flywheel? Have you done it before? Hey, listen, all it's got to do is work for a little while to prove that the engine and transmission is fine. That's all. Anyway, take care. Love you. Hey, by the way, if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.